This week on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Supportive. I said, really, that surprises me. Because of the lunch we went to, and you were in that lunch. Yeah, I left that car feeling like everything you said was a little bit poisonous, especially about Whitney, especially about Maylee. And to find out.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Today, we're going to be talking about the new episode of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 5, Episode 2. This was a supersized episode, so let's get right into it. The opening scene is Lisa and Bronwyn, the new lady, and they're just talking about all the things that happened the night before, which was Lisa's party. Bronwyn says that Brittany came in hot with her and Mary, and then Lisa is talking about her going at it with Whitney and Angie. And then as they're in the car talking about this, Lisa gets a phone call from Angie asking if they can meet later, and Lisa says yeah. Then we see Mary, because remember, Mary is a full-time housewife now as well, so we're going to see more scenes of her. And in this one, we see her and her lazy son. Yes, he's lazy because he's a grown man who is living at her house, which is fine. That's perfect. But Mary says he is not in college and he has no job. So he's doing nothing. And didn't he have a wife? That's crazy. So Lisa and Bronwyn go pick up Heather, and then they go to the Wendy's drive-thru. Lisa's like a Wendy's ambassador or something. She loves fast food. Although I will say, controversial statement, Wendy's is superior to McDonald's. Anyway, so Lisa is mad at Angie, and she felt like her venting to Angie was used against her because Angie ended up telling Whitney what Lisa was telling her. Heather says that Whitney is messy as hell. She's just a mess. But she did feel a little bad afterwards when she got to her house, wondering if maybe they ganged up on Whitney. And Miss Bronwyn, she might be new, but she didn't hold back. She goes off on Whitney and says that Whitney was doing the most, acting crazy, and that it seemed rehearsed, that she was laughing of all the things that Whitney was saying, which again is all true. But Heather's a little suspicious of a new person who they just met having such strong opinions since, what happened last year. So then we see Meredith and Seth go to a cooking class, and one of the things that I've always said is that I never understand people who can't cook. I feel like you don't have to be a great chef, but I think cooking is an essential human skill that everyone needs to have. Both men and women. That's what I think. So they cooked a dish that is commonly cooked in the country of Israel. And Meredith says that because this is a part of her ethnicity, she wants to do a bar mitzvah, which I think is like common for like teenagers, but she's doing it. I don't know. I guess this will be her storyline this year. Okay, so Angie and Lisa meet up. Angie says that she felt like Lisa, Meredith, and Heather ganged up on Whitney. And Lisa says, well, first of all, when I tell you things, it isn't okay for you to go tell another person because it feels like you're breaking my trust. And I do get that part. Listen, if I'm telling my friend something about a person and then my friend goes to tell that person, yeah, I would be upset. So I agree with Lisa on that point. But then, y'all, as soon as Angie tries to say something about Lisa's behavior and the way she acts sometimes, Lisa gets very defensive, very animated, and she won't let the other person talk. She says, if people think I'm the villain and I'm a B, I don't care anymore. And then she gets up and leaves. She literally walks away. Lisa Barlow can't take 1 ounce of someone telling her something that she doesn't like about herself. If you are having an issue with Lisa Barlow and the way she is acting on anything, don't even think about telling her because she's going to run. But this shouldn't be a surprise to us. This is the same woman who lost her mind after her friend brought up something to her attention and then went around and called her a piece of garbage whore. Remember that? The next scene is Bronwyn and her husband, who looks like her dad. He's way older than her, but when you see the house, you're like, okay, that makes sense. He's very rich. He actually was a part of some invention back in the day, some piece of technology, and he looks like a nice guy. And then an interior designer comes over because they are wanting to add new things to their house, like art pieces and stuff like that. Uh, Bronwyn has a 17-year-old daughter, but her husband is not the dad. It's someone else. She had a kid when she was very young. So when she got with her husband, she already had this daughter. Heather and Whitney then meet up at a crystal store. Whitney's telling Heather that she feels like it was a gang up on her the other night. Heather says that it wasn't that, they were just all bringing up their own grievances, and it felt like that, but that's what they were doing. And she also feels like Heather feels like Whitney doesn't give a f about her friendships anymore. Whitney says that she understands that. She just wanted to have some more support from Heather. Heather receives that. And on some better news, Whitney says that she has a girls' trip planned to Milwaukee. Then we see Meredith in her house with her kids. I can't take Meredith seriously. She's making us believe that she's doing a recipe for a bath bomb. She had some baking soda in the table with cornstarch and apple cider vinegar. Yeah, you have full glam in a stylish outfit, making us think you're inventing a bath bomb recipe. I can't with this. But she also tells her kids about this bar mitzvah she's doing. We then see Heather and her friend Brittany go play pickleball. These housewives love pickleball. This Brittany lady, so she got together with a man because her ex and the man's ex got together, so they connected over that and then got together themselves. But they've broken up like 16 times now. It's kind of a weird situation. But one of the things that Heather and Brittany really connect over is Mormonism, and that's how it shapes the way they date and have husbands and all this stuff. All right, so Angie K, listen, her business is booming. They just opened their 10th location, and that's great for her. I'm happy for her. Bronwyn went there to get her hair done, and Angie is talking to her, and she kind of wants to clear up some things with Bronwyn because she doesn't want her to have a bad impression of her based on what happened the other night at that party. But wait a minute. Remember that at the beginning, Bronwyn told Lisa that Whitney was acting crazy and all that? Well, now, here, Bronwyn is telling Angie that everything Whitney said about Lisa is valid. Wait a minute, what? Yeah. And also, there's some drama. So Bronwyn doesn't like Brittany because remember Brittany said, I like your costume? Well, she definitely doesn't like her anymore. She still doesn't like her because right here, Angie just told her that she met up with Brittany the other day and that Brittany kept bringing up the heart outfit. So it's getting worse. So then, like, the last part of the episode is this activity that Heather planned out. They met at this place, and it looks like they're going to do some obstacle courses. We're also introduced to a woman named Mealy. Well, we weren't really introduced. We just kind of saw her, but she's going to be a friend of the show this season. So everybody is there, and they're all doing the activity except Meredith. She claims that she has tennis elbow from 10 months ago. That sucks. Be a team player, Meredith. Anyway, they had to like climb and walk across ropes and pieces of... It looked fun, but scary at the same time. I don't know if that makes sense. And yeah, that was a crazy adventure. And after that, they order some food and have some drinks. Brittany interrupts everybody to tell them that her and her man, who have broken up so many times, got together again and that he asked her to be his girlfriend on an Instagram post when they went shopping at Costco. I don't know, this lady is crazy. And then Mary spoke my thoughts. She said, I just want to know, why do we care? And that's exactly what I was thinking in the moment. And then Brittany says, Mary, that's rude. And Mary says, no, you were rude to me the other day when you called me poor. And Brittany says, no, I didn't. And Mary says, I don't care about you and your boyfriend. No one cares. I don't even know you. And so then Lisa and Whitney kind of get in there and they're telling Brittany that picture that she is referring to, where she's at Costco, they're telling her that isn't a declaration or a proposal from this guy. So they kind of get into her situation a little deeper, and Brittany says that she has a lot of problems with her kids and her ex-husband. She's dealing with a lot. Her daughters don't want to talk to her, but she doesn't really want to talk about it. Mary says, oh, but you did want to tell us about your boyfriend. You're very difficult. You need to do some soul searching. And then Brittany says, I'm a kind person. I'm kind. Mary says, if you're kind, why can't you make amends with your kids? Ouch. That was a little too far. But Mary is projecting because her mom didn't care about her or her siblings because of a man. So she kind of sees this situation on Brittany. And Mary admitting that in her confessional makes us understand Mary a little bit, because don't get me wrong, Mary is hilarious, but Mary is rude. She's a mean person a lot of the times with other women. So it kind of makes sense that knowing that she has mommy issues. But anyway, Brittany got upset and tells Mary to shut up, don't ever bring my kids. So she's screaming and going off. Then Bronwyn says, she's making little comments at Brittany as well. And then she says, everything I know about Brittany is unhinged. Calling people poor, getting on Costco shopping carts, talking about me. Bronwyn then says to Brittany, get your words tight and in order. So then Heather says, if we want to talk about getting our words in order, then let's start with yourself, because you've been telling a different story to everybody. When you were with me and Lisa getting Wendy's the other day, you said you were Team Lisa. But then when you got with the other saying that you're Team Whitney. By the way, Heather did that so smoothly, and she was correct. It was true. Bronwyn did say horrible things about Whitney to Lisa. We heard it, saying that she had tears of laughter watching Whitney. But then she told Whitney she understood her. But the crazy part about this is that they're all taking up for Bronwyn, including Whitney, who's the person that Bronwyn was talking about. So that was crazy. And of course, I don't know. So they're all kind of talking. I did notice, though, that once Heather was, kind of raising her voice and going at it with Bronwyn, I did notice Bronwyn kind of, shut down a little bit. And of course, she's new, so it's not totally surprising, but I definitely noticed that. So, as they're all, talking at the same time, of course, Whitney just couldn't help herself. Don't weaponize trauma. Don't steamroll people. And then here comes Lisa, who also can't help herself. Well, steamrolling is when you go on a podcast and you say blah, blah, blah. So Lisa and Whitney are going at it again. Oh my gosh. But Whitney does apologize somehow to Lisa, so that kind of calms down the situation. And then Whitney invites everyone to the trip to Milwaukee. And everybody is excited, but Meredith says, I don't know. Maybe I can't make it. I'll have to wait and see. I can't with Meredith. So yeah, that was the end of the episode. This was a good episode. So many scenes in a single episode. A lot of stuff happened, and I can't wait for next week to this trip to Milwaukee. I'm sure things will get crazy. But I also noticed that this episode was focused a lot on new girls, Brittany and Bronwyn. So it's kind of interesting to sort of see Salt Lake City evolve in a way. So anyway, you guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section about this episode. What were your thoughts about everything? Let me know. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all next time. You'll have a great one. Bye.